would like to just study number 21, great ease. What people, what people really want to be, want to have is great ease. See, what people just thinking about is we really want to be satisfied, want to be able to want to be able to satisfy with present ourselves, present now and present right here. So how we will be able to do is zazen. If you sincerely, if you can do zazen sincerely, continually or constantly, then you'll be able to just satisfy with your present this yourself. See, but if you don't it, you'll never be able to do it. So please do it constantly, continually. Even there's so many ideas, so many thinking and thoughts just come up in your mind. That is a delusion. That is not a truth. That is a creation of a thinking of a soul. So you don't care much about that. Just simply just let's go then of us there. That's enough. Then simply just sit. See, whenever you're free, whatever you're doing, the thinking also just come up in your mind. You never just care much about that. Just let's go. Then about this is zazen. This way you'll be able to just satisfy through. You'll be able to just realize through yourself. This is the only way you can do. You can just satisfy. You can just realize who you are. Only this way, zazen. So it is sincerely or simply, I would like to just recommend you to do zazen. Hi. Then we go back to the text. What the Genloshi just say about how we'll be able to just realize who we are. Number 21, great ease. As I just mentioned about what people just really want to have is a dissatisfaction. See, great ease. Dissatisfaction we will be able to have. See, but what people are just trying to do is completely opposite way. What people just try to do is just try to obtain or try to gain a social status or the money, fortune or the fame. As even if you just have such a great the fortune or the social status or the whatever fame, the more you just have it, the more you have it, the more you have it, you're gonna be confused. You're gonna have a trouble. See, but people don't know much about that. But only doesn't, you'll be able to just satisfy with yourself, your present self. Only doesn't. Okay, that's the reason Shakyamuni Buddha or the Peter Alex just recommend you to do that because they have a great experience. See, only this experience you'll be able to just satisfy with your present self. Right. So Genloshi they must again just have the same the experience as the Shakyamuni Buddha just realized, or the patriarchs just realized the same experience. Then he just teaches us how we be able to just get such experience. This way you will be able to just realize who you are. So what are the Gian Roshi just mentioned about the great ease is you are asked, what are you doing? Who is sweeping? When you are sweeping in the garden, you know, it's a very simple question. What are you doing? See, then as long as children are concerned, children simply just answer, oh, look at, oh, then you'll be able to know much about what I'm doing. Well, I'm just sweeping, or I'm just picking a glass or something. See, but as for adult people, see, when someone just asks you, what are you doing? Then kind of idea of the kind of thinking just come out in your mind. Oh, someone knows much about what I'm doing, but he just asked me that kind of question. There is something, uh, something. Then the person who just asked, just thinking about what he really just want to know, want to ask. So this kind of idea of thinking just close in your mind. Then you cannot just answer quickly. See, you have a kind of a stance. They're thinking about what you just want to ask. Ask. Then you cannot just answer quickly or as it is. See, this is the whole problem. What we have, because when you ask, what are you doing? What are you doing? Our ears simply just accept what someone just asks. Then finish. The answer, what are you doing? Just come into the ears, and the ear just simply accept it, disappear. See, nothing left at all. Nothing left there. Then what's happened? As far as what we call it a human being, what we call it the ourselves is that question. That's the saying, or that question. After that question disappear, we just recognize what someone just said, and they try to think about the reason why. See, this is not a truth. This is not truth. The truth is already finished. You see, what are you doing? Then you just act as it is. Then finish. You just act as it is, and finish. Nothing left at all. But then we just recognize. We just recognize what someone said, and try to figure out what it is. These things just come out later. This is not true. See, the truth is always as it is, oneness. such as. See, then you recognize that suchness of oneness. Then once you just recognize the things, there is two things just always they happen, or at least two or three things just happen. The things being recognized and the person who just recognized. Two things, two matters just happen. But this is not true. This is not true. The truth is as it is, one. Then you just recognize that. Then the things is just separate. The other two things, that and this. This is a later. This is not true. See, the truth is as it is, oneness. Then you recognize that. Then, as I just told you, that the things just divided two or three or four by thinking. See, the things being recognized and the person who just recognized. Before recognition, no separation at all. No separation at all. Once you just recognize that, then this separation happens. Then the things are being recognized, and the person who recognizes the completely separated. See, then you just recognize the other these things as what we just think what we thinking about the self or the self. But this is not true. This is this creation or delusion or creation of the thinking. You see, what we thinking about ourselves never exists. See, after you just recognize that, then this kind of what we call the human being, or what we think of the self just come out. But before you recognize that, see, this kind of the person never exists. Never exists. This is a whole problem. This is a big problem as for us, for human beings. So we have to just figure out what it is. This is a misunderstanding, totally misunderstanding. See, although there is nothing concerned with the reality or truth, but the people just think about that is the truth or reality. This is totally misunderstanding. So that's the reason we have to do as others. We just let's go the thinking or thought or idea of as they are. Only this way you'll be able to just become the things you faced. Only this way you can do it. This is Zazen. That's the reason people just, that's the reason the Shakamriba, Buddha, the patriarchs just recommend us to do Zazen because they have experience. They have experience. And this experience, at least we need. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to just recognize or realize the difference between before recognition and after recognition. See, before recognition, nothing happened, nothing exists. Then you recognize that. Then things just happen. Things just come out. as what the people just think about the things or the others, just come after recognition. But before recognition, nothing exists at all. Nothing at all. That's the reason we have to do it. Okay. You're asking what are you doing? Who is sweeping? When you are sweeping in the garden, you are asked what seems too obvious. You feel apprehensive that there might be something as it is. Kind of the suspicion just happened. Suspicion just happened in your mind. You feel apprehensive that there might be something as it is not clear for you. Then you just try to think about what's the reason the person asked. See, try to figure out, try to think about what's the reason. See, then it's just confuse you. It's confusing. Simply just, but the reality is, see, what are you doing? Then finish. Nothing left. See, but after that, thinking also just the try to figure out what it is. But this is not a true. This is just these things just happen only in your mind. Nothing concerned with what's going on here. Nothing concerned. Only just happening in your mind. Only in your mind. Nothing concerned with what we are just doing. We can just acting. Nothing concerned with it. But unfortunately, the thing is, what you're thinking about that things, what things just what you are thinking is that thing only just the happening in your mind. See, if in your thinking in your mind, you see, the things just the happening before recognition, you'll be able to just you'll be able to easily just distinguish between before recognition or before consciousness and after consciousness. But unfortunately, what just happening in your mind is the things just after recognition, only after recognition. See, before recognition, this thing in your mind never happened. That's the reason. Only you know much about the things happening in your mind is after recognition. That is not true, because see, as long as you just recognize the things, there is the two things. The things is the things being recognized and the person who just recognized. This is not true. The truth is, well, reality is oneness. This oneness you just recognize, and you and the things just separate. Hi. Where is it? You are at a loss completely, though you have been resolved to know and understand the world, such as being as it is. The usual frame of mind of being now is important. So, see what the things just come out. Come out in your mind is delusion. As I mentioned, that is not true. That is not true. But as I just mentioned, only that things in your, they come out in your mind. So you never be able to distinguish the things happening before the declaration and the things just happening after the declaration. So that's the reason it doesn't. That's the reason it doesn't. The more you just let's go the thinking idea, thoughts over the more you just become right now, right here. This doesn't. The Shakam Buddha or the Patriarch just recommend you to do. Only this doesn't do. What people just think about, oh, maybe someday. As long as just, we have been trying to do that, something happen. They will be able to realize the things, but this is completely different. This is completely misunderstood. Just this, just whatever just thinking also to come up in your mind, just throw them away as they were just to try to figure out what they are. Just simply let's go there as they are. This is nothing. You will be able to just realize to yourself. So you are at a loss completely, though you have been just resolved to know and understanding the world, such as being as it is. The usual frame of mind or being now is important. Being now and here is very important. The being now and the being here is our truth, our reality. Not what we just think about the kind of body. This body is not a human body. As I just mentioned, this one is a Dharma body, not our true self. True self is whatever you are doing, wherever you are, you just face. You just face. When you just face the things, you just become as it is. This is Dharma. This is our truth. This is not this one. That's much completely. We are just misunderstanding what the true ourself is. The true ourself is very simple. When you face this, you just become this. Why do you have to just become the things we faced? Why? So wherever you are just wherever you are, whatever you are doing, so when you just face this, you just become this. When you face this, see, why do you have to become like that? Because the things just the things we face is our true self, not this. That is never separated from us. You see, always things we face is just with us, because our true self, that's the reason, never separated. Don't misunderstand this. Don't misunderstand this. That's what people think, well, what it is. What is it? Yeah, that's your truth. It's hard to understand. That's the reason we have to do it. We are completely misunderstand. We are completely misunderstand what true ourselves is. See, only the way of Buddha just teach us what the true ourselves is. Only only the way of Buddha, only Shakyamuni, what Shakyamuni Buddha teaches us. This way we'll be able to just realize who we are. We, as Zen Master Dogen just mentioned or teachers, our true self is complete and universal. Entirely different what we just think about ourselves. Entirely different. Our true self is complete and universal. That's much huge. Not much that what we think about a human being. That's a true. That's a kind of tiny thing. Our true self is so huge, endless, uncountable. Okay. Each of you is now being called into this question. So see, as I just mentioned, when I face this, see, we just simply become as we just faced. See, lots of people never just have, never question this, never be able to question this. This is a totally huge question for us, for human beings. Why do we have to become dead? See, this is the most important question for human being, for us. This is a thing. See, the usual frame of mind of being now is important. When you face this, you just become this. Why do you have to just become this? If you just have this question, you'll be able to solve the question. But see, as far as what we call it, the ourself is, see, as I just mentioned about see, the inner mind, the things being recognize the person who just recognize just the two things that always just come out in our mind. See, kind of a separation for our thinking or thought, kind of the separation is usual. See, always that kind of idea. See, that's the reason we cannot have this question, what it is. See, the things, whatever just, whatever we are doing, wherever we just face this becomes ourselves. We just become the things we face. But nobody just have this question because of kind of a separation just happening. But same. So the more you just sit, the more you just become, the more you just practice Zazen, as I just mentioned, the more you just become this, then you have this culture. Oh, what it is? This kind of question just come up in your mind. But even just you just understand what I just mentioned about in concept. You never be able to have this kind of a chance to just have a question, what it is. See, that's the reason. Yes, we would like to just recommend you to the Zazen. The more you just the more you just do Zazen, the more you just become right now, right here. Then you have, as I mentioned, you have this question. Otherwise, impossible. Okay. only the movement of now exists. See, only this kind of movement, kind of activity, action. See, that's kind of a movement. That kind of action without what we thinking of ourselves, without what we thinking about ourselves, just movement, just activity, just kind of act. See, that's all. That's all. Nothing concerned with what we are doing. See, what we just thinking about ourselves. Nothing concerned. See, only just move, just the act, without what we thinking about ourselves. The self, no self at all. So only the movement of now exists. There is a known to receive it, not to be full of oneself, not to be full of oneself. See, that it means the things just happening right now is nothing concerned with what we just thinking about ourselves. So it means what we thinking about ourselves never exists. Never exists. Hi. You know such logic. Such logic. But when you ask yourself as your own matter, it is useless. As far as the people are concerned, people know much about words or letters, word or letters. They know much about, oh, yes, this is this, this is this, this is this. In concept. Someone just asked you, what's the true what it is. So people just have a great confusion because people know much about the word or letter, but they don't know much about the content of the word or letters, but only know much about. Only they just they understand that the word or letters. See, but that is not true. The truth is, when you face this, you just become this. This is truth. This is truth. See, but the people know much about only word or vocabulary or word or the letters. Hi. Don't just don't be deceived. Okay. Such logic, but when you ask yourself as your own matter, see, this is see, when you face this, you become this. Why we have to just become this or turn into this? What we face? See, this is a big question. You just ask yourself why it is, why is it? You ask yourself why is it, why it is. See, you'll be able to just answer. You'll be able to answer. Just ask yourself. See? If you just answer, that's be fine. You never have any trouble at all. Okay. Oh, so such logic about when you ask yourself as your own matter, your own question, it is useless. Otherwise, it's useless, which is utterly pitiful state. Nobody just ask this question to yourself. No, just have this kind of question because it's impossible. There is a separation between you and the things, always in your mind. This question never just come out in your mind. Where is it? The self. Yes. But, yeah. It is hardly worth bringing it up. If it is not the matter that you are living now, you are alive and right in the midst of being now. Although you are just midst of the non midst of non-self. See, the things just going to happen without what we just thinking about ourselves. To any kind of activity, any kind of the situation. See, there is not the no one. There is no one what we think about ourselves. Without ourselves, everything just going on. Hi, this is reality. Hi, we'll be able to just understand, even in concept. The self-consciousness has overrated. It is hardly worth of the bring out. If it is not a matter that you are living now, you are alive and right in the midst of the being now. The self-consciousness as I, that is to recognize the self. That's self-consciousness. What you call the self, simply that's vanish. It's completely disappeared. Completely disappeared. They vanished completely. The self expired. What you think about yourself expires. Completely disappears. There's no one here. No one here. The things just, although what you're thinking about the self, that's completely expired or completely vanished, completely disappeared. But only one thing left. Only one thing left. What it is right now, right here. This is our true self. Right now, right here. This is our true self. Right. See what we call the self, this completely vanish, disappear, expire. Then everything is just what we call ourselves completely gone away, but only right now, right here, just left, remain. Don't worry about that. That ourselves, true ourselves. We'll be able to just understand even. That's the reason the Shakyamuni Buddha that recommend us to do zazen. Otherwise, you never be able to just realize this fact, this truth. This is the only truth. This is the only truth. Right now, right here. Nothing else. Nothing anymore but this. That's okay. From that reason, Buddha and progenitors practice silently only on this one point for 20 or 30 years. See, it's a long, long time, but just now, even 20, 100,000 or more uncountable years, but right now. See? So you don't need to worry about it. Just simply do Zazen in right now, right here. Then you'll be able to just realize who you as your true self. Right now, right here is to yourself. You'll be able to just realize. Not a thing, not a thing what you think about a kind of a human body. This is entirely different from what you're thinking about. This one, what you just think about our body is a Dharma body, entirely different. See, on this Dharma body, everything just come out. Because, as I just mentioned, this is a kind of tools. These tools just have a kind of the six senses installed. This tools is installed with the six senses: ears, eyes, nose, tongue, body, and mind. Those six senses just randomly just acting whatever without center, without what you're thinking about self. See, just acting randomly, without any reason, those six senses just acting. See, but see, also randomly just those six senses just acting. But when you face this, you just become exactly this. This is Dharma. Okay, that's the reason. That's the reason even it takes you for a long time, but don't worry about that. So only what we just think about ourselves have to do is these things. See, otherwise you never be able to just satisfy with yourself. See, only this. See, this much of the zazen is the most valuable, things for us. So from that reason, Buddha and progenitors practiced silently only on this one point for 20 or 30 years. See, it's a valuable, it's a most valuable things for us to even take a 30 or 40 years. But it's the most valuable things to do because you'll be able to just realize completely different through yourself. Through yourself is entirely different from what you're thinking about ourselves. Completely, entirely different. That's the reason that the patriarchs just try to do it. Even takes in 20 or 30 years. They just simply, sincerely, silently, just continually just do the Zazen practice. The reason, as I mentioned, entirely different. Our true selves are entirely different from what we just think about ourselves. Truly, you should be thorough once what you are now. Then you will be convinced with it. If so, you will become the living being of great ease without anyone's help. These things we just obtain. If you sincerely or the honestly just do Zazen, you'll be able to just gain this great ease. That's the reason we just recommend you to do Zazen. When you discuss Buddhism, that should be the base. So it means this is what we just talking about. It's a kind of a creation of a thinking. That is not a truth. That is not a truth. So if you just take a long time to discuss the matter, it's so useless, just in vain. If you have such a time, please just sit. It is a way. It is a way anyone can do if he is in all seriousness. But does it? It is a way anyone can do if he is in all seriousness. See, as I just mentioned, if you just have a time to discuss, to talk to whatever. See, but if you have such a time, just simply just sit. Then only this way you'll be able to just become the things you face right now. No separation at all. Completely oneness. Then you'll be able to just satisfy everything. You'll be satisfied with everything. Then you'll be able to say, okay, this is enough, totally enough. Nothing left at all. The life is now. Nothing exists but now. This is our truth. This is our truth now, here, right now, right here. This is our truth, not this one. See, that's reason. That's reason because we just completely misunderstand who we are, what the true ourselves is. See, that's the reason we have to do it. This is only one chance. This is only one chance. See, it's the most hard way, the most hard to become a kind of a human being, or what we call ourselves. Only once. See, this chance, within this chance, we have to realize who we are, what the true ourselves is. Because what we are thinking about ourselves entirely different. That's just a delusion. That's a delusion. That's creation of thinking. We are just completely deceived by our thinking or thought. That's things we don't know much about. That's the reason. Just to simply sit, sitting. See, then the sitting, what's the zazen? What the sitting is, whatever just thinking or thought or idea just come up in your mind. That is a delusion. That is not a truth. That is not true. Then simply just throw them away as the let's go then. How about this is zazen. This way you'll be able to just realize who you are. Okay, that's it. So maybe today we're gonna finish. We're gonna finish the December the session, so that next year we'll be able to just meet maybe. No one knows. No one knows. Hopefully we'll be able to get together, and I'll be able to just talk to the how you'll be able to how you should do zazen, what our truth says. Then you just listen to what I just mentioned about what truth self is. Then you feel something like, oh, that's that that is why I have to do a zazen. Then you just simply do zazen and continue concentration. You just do, and then sooner or later, someday, you will just realize for you. This is the most important thing, and the most valuable things for us to be, to realize, to do. Okay, thank you so much. Have a great universe. Have a great universe. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Muchas gracias. No nada.